So, you've got a website, and you've probably asked yourself the big question: how in the world do I get to the top of Google? Well, the answer is this thing that can feel a little complicated, but it is a total game changer: search engine optimization, or as you probably know it, SEO. And in the next few minutes, we're going to demystify it together. Okay, think about it this way. Imagine your website is this beautiful store that you've poured your heart and soul into. But what if it's on a street with no name, no roads leading to it? That's kind of what it's like being online without any traffic. So, how do we build those roads?
Does this feel familiar? You've built something you're proud of, but it feels like you're just shouting into the void. The truth is, there's a huge audience out there right now, actively searching for exactly what you offer. They can't see you yet.
Now, what if I told you that getting that single top spot on Google could be worth $9,000 a month? Seriously, that's the potential value for just one keyword, like party supplies. The #1 result gets over a quarter of all the clicks. That's thousands of potential customers. Advertisers pay a ton of money for that kind of traffic. SEO is how you can earn it for free.
And look, this isn't just a theory. The data from Backlinko, which is our source for this explainer, shows that a staggering 78% of their visitors come directly from organic search. This proves something absolutely crucial. Search isn't just one source of traffic. For a lot of sites, it's the main source. It really is a gold mine just waiting to be tapped.
So we've established that there's a gold mine of free, super targeted traffic out there. The map to that gold mine, it's called SEO. But what is it really? Let's break down the actual key to unlocking all that potential.
At its very core, SEO is all about getting targeted traffic to your site from a search engine's organic rankings. Now, the two most important words there are targeted and organic. This isn't about buying ads, it's about earning your spot right at the top.
You see, every single time you search on Google, you're looking at a competition. Right at the very top, you've got the paid ads, but everything underneath those are the organic results, the ones Google's algorithm decided are the most relevant and trustworthy. That organic space, the part you actually can't pay for, that is exactly where SEO works its magic.
Okay, so if our goal is to rank in those organic spots, we have to understand the judge, right? We need to learn to think like a search engine. So let's pull back the curtain and see what Google is actually looking for.
You know, it really boils down to a pretty simple 3-step process. First, Google sends out these little bots, or crawlers, to discover all the content out there on the internet. Second, it stores and organizes all that stuff in a massive database called an index. And third, when you type in a search, its algorithms sift through that entire index to rank the results, trying to find the absolute perfect answer to your question.
So how does Google decide which page is the best? Well, while there are hundreds of factors, they all really boil down to 3 big ideas. First, relevancy. Does your page actually match the search? Second, authority. Is your site trustworthy? And third, and this might be the most important one, usefulness. Does your page actually help the person searching?
And this just goes to show you that authority isn't everything. Imagine you're searching for info on the paleo diet. You could find a page from a world-renowned expert that's super dense and full of jargon, or you could find a page from a relative newcomer that's clear, well-organized, and easy to follow. Which one is more useful to you? Google gets that user experience is huge, and it will often reward the page that actually helps the searcher, even if it doesn't have the traditional authority.
So we need to signal relevancy, build up our authority, and create real usefulness, but how do we actually do that? Thankfully, all the work that goes into SEO can be organized into a pretty simple blueprint: the 3 core pillars of success. Just think of it like this. On-page SEO is the actual content on your page. Technical SEO is the foundation under your page, making sure everything is strong and easy to access. And off-page SEO, that's your reputation around the web. If you can get these 3 things right, you are well on your way. All right, first up is on-page SEO. This covers pretty much everything a visitor, or a search engine for that matter, can see directly on your page. We're talking about the words you write, the images you use, and how you structure it all. A massive part of on-page SEO is just using your keywords in the right places. And you should think of your page's title tag as its one-sentence summary. When you include your main keyword right there in the title, you're sending a really powerful signal to Google about what that page is about. It's like putting a perfectly clear label on a file folder so it's easy to find.
Okay, our second pillar is technical SEO.
Now, this is all the stuff happening behind the scenes to make sure your site has a solid foundation. Because if search engines can't easily find, crawl, and understand your content, then even the most amazing article you've ever written will never see the light of day.
This includes some really crucial tasks, like making sure your site is mobile-friendly, because, let's be honest, that's where most searches happen now, and improving your page speed, since nobody has time for a slow website. Little things like a secure connection and a logical structure all help Google navigate your site with confidence.
And that brings us to our final pillar, off-page SEO. This one is all about building your website's authority and its reputation. It's basically about what other people and other websites are saying about you across the rest of the internet.
Probably the most important part of off-page SEO is building backlinks. A backlink is simply a link from some other website to your website. Google sees these as votes of confidence. So the more high-quality, relevant websites that link to you, the more authority Google thinks you have. Simple as that.
So there you have it. That's the blueprint. Understand what Google wants, then build your on-page, technical, and off-page pillars. But just as we're getting a handle on all of this, the entire game is starting to change.
You now have the fundamental blueprint for SEO. But here's a final thought I want to leave you with. With AI so quickly changing what search even looks like, which of these three pillars, the content on your page, the foundation underneath it, or the reputation you build around it, which one do you think is going to matter most in the future? That's the big question everyone in this field is asking right now. Thanks for tuning into The Explainer.